Hello. Today we're going to talk about essay writing and what I look for when I'm actually grading your essays. Along with the link to this presentation and to the information, I have also sent to you a copy of the rubric that I use. This has been converted into Canvas. I want to go through these point by point so that you know exactly what it is that I am looking for. So make sure that you have a copy in front of you so that we can go over this together. We're going to start first with the top category, and that is called claim. The claim is described as the text introduces a clear, arguable claim that can be supported by reasons and evidence. Now, as in terms of in argumentative paper versus an informative paper, it's more or less the same. Does the claim answer the prompt, and is it something that you can prove? That's what we're looking for. So the claim is your thesis, and it's called a claim because it will be your job to prove you are right. You are making a stand and you are proving that your stand is correct. That's the claim. The claim does need to be directly related to the prompt. Let's take a look at a sample claim. And I've used both the examples of the 9th grade paper that you were writing and the 10th grade. So this is from Threatening Stereotypes, and here is one possible claim. The evidence collected leads to the unfortunate conclusion that Sweet Valley High School has deep-rooted prejudices and stereotypes. So this claim directly responds to what did you find from your information in terms of stereotypes at your campus. You are making the claim that there are still stereotypes among the students there. It is your job to prove that. Now, the claim itself is really important. If you are looking at a paper, I am looking for, is the claim in the first paragraph, and is it supported throughout all of its paragraphs? If you make a claim, then you should be able to prove it. But if there's no claim at the top, the rest of your essay makes no sense whatsoever. So of all of these, this is probably the most important of everything on the rubric. Now, the claim obviously goes into the introduction. The introduction needs only two things: a hook about the topic and the claim itself. Here's a sample introduction that was taken from the Enrique's Journey essay. Many people take advantage of the fact that they have good, strong families. No matter how poor, how small, how troubled, the family is still the greatest source of strength and encouragement. Norberto Giron is correct when he states that it is more important that families stick together even in the midst of poor economic conditions. Notice that the first paragraph is about the general topic of family and the support you get from family. This next sentence, the last sentence, comes directly from the prompt asking if you agree or disagree with Norberto Giron's quote. There are only 3 sentences in this introduction, and that's all you'll ever need. You can even go as low as 2. But make sure that you have the general topic discussed in the first part, a hook, something to get them interested, and then you have your claim. Okay, let's move on to the next part of the rubric, and that is development. In this case, does the text provide sufficient data and evidence to back up the claim, as well as a conclusion that supports the... You think you can fill in that blank? If you said thesis or claim, you're correct. Everything in that essay must be used to prove that your claim is correct. In an essay, especially if it's either informative or argumentative, the ratio of evidence to analysis should be 2 to 1. What this means is you have 2 pieces of evidence that support your claim. Then you have one sentence that basically tells how those pieces of evidence support that claim. And I call those chunks. So anything, the 2 to 1 ratio, if we call it one chunk, then here's how you look at it in an essay. In a paragraph, you need at least 2 chunks per body paragraph. Then there should be at least 2 body paragraphs. So if we do some multiplication here, you're going to need a total of 4 chunks minimum for the essay. Now if we look at how many pieces of evidence that is, if there are 2 pieces of evidence per chunk and we have 4 chunks, then you're going to need 8 pieces of evidence. So before you turn in any paper, you want to make sure that you have that much evidence. When you're looking at a peer's paper, count and see how many pieces of evidence did they provide. Let's take a look and see how this looks in an actual paragraph. I've color-coded it for you so that you can see how these balance out. The top sentence is known as the topic sentence, and I'm also looking for this to make sure that it relates to the main claim. If we're looking at the threatening stereotypes, then this sentence, despite the fact that desegregation occurred 50 years ago, studies have shown that people are naturally going to gather with groups of their own kind. This sentence is related to the threatening stereotypes because we're showing that people who group themselves together according to specific characteristics are not very inviting to people of different backgrounds. So that's our topic sentence. At the bottom, which is also blue, we have the concluding sentence. Racial grouping still occurs even in our modern society. This is a reflection of what we've said up at the top, that we still have this natural segregation among the races. The parts that are red are the details. So this was actually what came out of a survey. And these pieces of evidence support the claim that we are making that there is stereotyping, there is prejudice still at this campus. The part that is gray, these are the analysis sentences. So what this sentence is doing is bringing in why this information is linked to this topic. Obviously, there is still a level of segregation on our campus. Same thing down here. If our society is so accepting of multicultural backgrounds, we should see this reflected on our own campus, but we don't. So that's what a body paragraph looks like, and remember, you need 2 of them. And if we count how many sentences there actually are, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's okay if the evidence takes up 2 sentences. 5, 6, 7, 8. So this paragraph has 8 sentences. Could be as few as 7, or it could be longer. What you want to remember, though, is not to quote too much out of a paper. If this detail becomes more than 3 lines, you may have to do some editing down.